I guess when you were saying before that you program not because you want to, it's because you have to do it for you design. I can't remember exactly how you phrased it, but this sort of shows that you have a lot more interest in doing the design aspect than just the programming part.
Ah, that's correct. I had
Pers-
enough fun
hmm
developing the current version of Bottles.
hmm
I had to leave the project for some months because I literally had no fun working with Bottles. Because at the start, like the first years of the project, uh, I could just add some widgets, edit some widgets, do whatever I want.
hmm
But in the last 2 years, a lot of people started contacting me because that's not how GNOME do that. That's not how you should do that. Look at GNOME settings. Look at this awesome application. Look at this. And I had absolutely no fun working with Bottles anymore.
hmm
And that's because I had to leave GTK in that project, because in another project, Vanilla OS, we are using GTK for everything, and I love working on GTK on that side.
hmm
But in Bottles, I just wanted to leave GTK and do whatever I want.
hmm hmm Why is there this difference with how you look at GTK between these two projects? What is it that's different about it when doing the vanilla OS stuff?
Because the difference is that in Vanilla OS, we are not inventing the interface. We are inventing the backend behind those interfaces. So, like the Apex UI,
hmm
which is the program which allow you to manage the containers, etc. We invented that way to use containers in the backend of Apex in the CLI. But in the interface, we have no effort on redesigning how that should work. We are not creating custom widgets with a complex interface with
hmm
or some random ideas. It's just how that should look.
hmm
So if someone ask me to change this because GNOME do that way, okay, open the pull request and just fix that. That's not a problem.
Right.
Bottles is something that mm, I'm taking care for more of 6 years now, and that's a completely different matter.
So in vanilla OS, because you're already working in the GNOME environment, you're not you're not trying to make something unique, you're just trying to make something that fits into GNOME. Whereas with Bottles, Bottles is your own thing that you want to be set up your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bottles is used in KDE, XFCE, GNOME, and other desktop environment which does not really care about GNOME guidelines.
hmm
So I should not put my effort on following them if also other desktop environment are involved in this. So that's
No, I understand that, and as we said, you clearly have an interest in doing design, so giving yourself this project that you can really express how you want this design to be, I think it's really cool. It's really neat that you have this passion in doing design because there is there is a lot of FOSS projects out there where it is run by a developer and they develop it because they are focused more on doing the features. It's nice to see someone who is approaching it from the other side, where they do the design work first, and that's their main focus, getting that nice and clean, and then also it needs features as well, but having a nice way to access it is it's a nice it's a nice difference.
Yeah. I think that Lutris sometime will move to another toolkit because they have a lot of functionalities, and when I say a lot, I mean a fucking lot. Because when you open settings for a wine prefix in Lutris, you are just you are pretty confused about what you should touch.
Yep.
Because there are many settings, and the problem in Lutris, in my honest opinion, is that they can't really move to GTK 4. They moved to GTK 4, I think, already, but they can't move to libadwaita without reaching a lot of users asking them to follow the guidelines very strictly. And Lutris has many developers, and I don't know if they have designers. I think not. And that could be a problem for Lutris, for such a big application like Lutris, which has many more years compared to Bottles. So they probably should stick with GTK4 without touching libadwaita, or maybe switch to another toolkit, or just don't give a shit and do whatever they want with libadwaita.
Yeah, I like that plan. Just do whatever you want. Just make it work. I can understand what you're saying if you did bring in libadwaita, because then then it does sort of, you've already adopted a big part of the GNOME approach of doing styling, so if you're going to do that, then you should probably go all the way with it and keep bringing in these other things, which might then get in the way of the vision of that project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I must clarify that I love the work we actually, I'm still in the foundation, in the GNOME Foundation. I love the work we are doing, because Linux deserve a lot of standardization, guidelines. We need this in Linux.
Sure.
But I also need the freedom to do whatever I want the way I want.
Sure. Yeah, it's good to have
some random users contact me to, no, you have
to. No, I get what you're saying. It's good to have this standardization in the context of the place where the standardization makes sense, but Plasma is never going to follow the GNOME design guidelines. Budgie is never going to follow it. All of these other desktops are doing their own thing. And if you want to make a GNOME app, go ahead and make a GNOME app that perfectly follows the guidelines, but not everything needs to fit into that, and it's okay to make something that is different.